Hi, this is Doug with IdahoMMA.com. I'm here with Cody Sattler, Twisted Genetics, Combat Fitness. Thanks for your time, Cody. I appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So tell me, you had your last fight was just about a week ago, and it was in the Elite Muay Thai here in Boise. Tell us how that fight went.
Fight went just the way I planned it. Everything kind of fell into place. I listened to my coaches and just did me, and everything worked out. Got the KO win, and I felt really good.
Yeah, big KO win. Now, in the K1 or kickboxing, in that event, you were padded up. You had shin guards, you had boxing gloves, but you landed that kick, that head kick, pretty clean, and out went the lights.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it was pretty sweet. A lot of people were actually talking the fight before. I heard, why do they have headgear and shin pads on, and oh, no one's going to get knocked out. And then my fight came up, and people were like, oh, my gosh.
Yeah, well, I mean, that was pretty amazing. You know, as a fan of the sport, you've been around, you've been training for, 4 or 5 years. You've got one MMA fight, one K1 fight. Tell us about the future of Cody. Like, what are your plans?
Well, my goals and aspirations in MMA and kickboxing, I prefer MMA over kickboxing. I actually was hoping to get an MMA fight at that K1 Elite Muay Thai, but a couple fights fell through, so the only fight I could get was a K1 fight. That doesn't bother me. But my goals and aspirations are to go to the UFC, fight in the UFC, be really successful, get that title belt, defend my title belt, and become a UFC Hall of Famer.
Well, I think you're on your road to that. I mean, you're 20 years old, right?
Yes, sir.
So tell us how you got started.
I started really young in Taekwondo, and I pursued that for a while, and I was really successful. I went to the Junior Olympics for 4 years. I placed gold in sparring, and I had medaled in a couple other events like forms and sparring, and then I kind of just kept from there. I went to more other. I started competing in different sports, in like baseball, football, and kind of just expanded my knowledge in sports. And I was really successful, and kind of fell off that edge and got into some trouble. And I was making very poor decisions as a young kid and fighting in the streets. And my parents actually split up, and I was brought from Texas to Idaho, and I got into MMA. I was like, hey, Dad, I want to do that. I was 14 years old, and he was like, you really want to do this? And I was like, yeah, I like to fight, and I like, the competitive aspect of the sport. And I got into a gym, Combat Fitness, and I kind of just went from there, and all these opportunities presented itself for me. I trained with the best guys in Boise, and I was I grew in the sport, and the sport grew on me. And I was dedicated to it for 3 years straight. I trained for every day. I was sent out to California, Sacramento, California, to train with Uriah Faber. Came back, and they finally let me fight after I graduated out of high school at the first Elite Muay Thai K1 fights, and I got a win there. And then after that, I had my first MMA fight out in Logan, Utah with the Cache Valley Clash. I fought Andrew Cruz. He's a tough fighter. He beat Bill Pate, suffered his first losses in his amateur record, and I kind of just started getting the ball rolling here with this last fight. So,
well, you've got your goals and aspirations are warranted. You've been in the sport, training at least for 4 or 5 years. You've got this great resume in the Taekwondo, going to the Junior Olympics and winning there. Do you see, like, in the future, going down and training like down in Las Vegas?
Yeah, actually, just recently I got a call from some guys down there, my original coach over at Combat Fitness, Nate Pettit, and my dad, he was talking to them, and they want to get me down there to train, and they see a lot of promise and a lot just a lot of good stuff out of me, and they want to get me down there to see how I like it. So here in the next week, I plan on going down there for a couple weeks and training with Extreme Couture, Tap Out, and Throwdown, and getting just know the circuit. Going to the fight capital of the world and imposing my will and going for my goals.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'll tell you what, that'd be a great experience. I mean, you've already got great experience. You've already training, with a lot of guys your own size. What weight are you?
I'm a 145 pounder featherweight.
So your next fight, you want to stay amateur, or do you plan on turning pro?
My next fight is probably going to be an amateur fight. I still need a couple more fights on my amateur record, because you're amateur, you never get that back once you go pro. And it's all about, what you want to do in the sport, and I want to be successful in my pro career. I don't want to suffer too many losses, and, I'd rather lose as an amateur than as a pro. So,
yeah.
Plan on going. My goals in the upcoming events are like, I took this semester off of college to go pro, so by next semester I'm pro and I can go back to school and have some type of cash flow and money support and start building my career. So
yeah, well, I mean, as a fan, especially around the Treasure Valley, you had a big following. I think your YouTube videos have more hits than any video that I've put up, so that says something about you. And I really look forward to your future and seeing you in the UFC and wish you the best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate you being here. Appreciate your time. And when you're down there at Extreme Couture, tell Randy I said hi.
I will. I'm definitely excited to go down there and get some good training in and get some good experience in. So I'll definitely give him a shout out for you.
Okay. Well, best of luck to Cody Sattler.
All right. Thank you very much, Doug.